Hello, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining Onshape webinar today. Today's topic is Onshape for education. Hi, my name is Akshay Shinde and I have my lead colleague here, Taji Joseph, an Onshape application engineer from Melbourne, Australia. Also would like to introduce Harrison Dean and Peter Kronas, member of aerospace and rocket engineering team from University of Melbourne. We all are very excited to present you Onshape. So this is today's webinar agenda. This presentation will last about approximate 45 minutes. First of all, we will cover introduction on Leap and then Onshape product development platform overview. Thereafter, a guest presenter, Harrison and Peter, will talk about Onshape education user experience from University of Melbourne. Taju will cover a CAD and data management and communication tool in a technical demonstration. And we will have some time for Q&A at the end of presentation. Before heading toward the introduction, just a reminder, all attendees are muted. If you wish to ask question, please type question in a question panel. Leaf have a long established reputation for successfully delivering computer-aided engineering CAE software and services to several Australian and New Zealand universities. Our team of highly qualified and experienced engineers provide support, training, advice, and customization in their area of expertise. Leap partner closely with institutions to enable rapid learning and adaptation among the students and faculty alike, helping to deliver graduates with suitable skill as they embark upon career that will be defined by Industry 4 technology. PTC and ANSYS are our major products. Leaf has associated university across Australia and New Zealand to successfully adopt PTC technology, including CAD, PLM, Internet of Things, and augmented reality, AR for designs, engineering and manufacturing. ANSYS academic engineering simulation software is used by thousands of universities globally for undergraduate students to learn a key physics principle, researchers to tackle the complex engineering task, postgraduate students to undertake groundbreaking and novel research. Leap also provide a range of complementary and niche engineering products that cover crash, blast, discrete element modeling, fatigue, 1D fluid flow, network, molding simulation, rendering, and more. Today we'll focus on Onshape. It is a new product in the PTC portfolio. Onshape was founded by John Herstick and John McElhenney, who are the original creator of SolidWorks, was acquired by PTC in November 2019. Today we'll talk more on Onshape. Just to begin with, I would like to talk about the challenges with the traditional CAD that you may recognize too. The problem most users experience with traditional CAD is the exchange of data by copying files. Now, imagine a team of students working under the development of a product. The first problem area they face is deploying the software. Each student needs to carefully set up a computer and they need each own their copies of CAD, which takes a time. Installing the software and its related ongoing maintenance results in lost efficiency due to upgrade service packs and applying license codes, upgrading spatial hardware, setting up VPN, updating driver, the list goes on. Whether you realize it or not, it's a huge IT cost. The second major problem area is sharing and managing files in a traditional systems. Files can be shared by USB drive, network file servers, or even a PDM system. Traditionally, you would need check-in, check-out, and locking to deal with this, and will cost you money, time, quality, agility, and much more things. Some products in the market are partial cloud storage solution, but even that does not fix the real problem. It just moves them somewhere else. Onshape is not just a cloud storage, it is a true SaaS offering, as you will see on the next slide. Onshape will help you to overcome all the file-based traditional CAD challenges. Onshape is the first and only complete cloud product development platform. It's a simple, your data and your tools all live in one place, the cloud. They never they are never copied anywhere else. There is nothing to install and there are no servers to configure, even for the PDM. There is no worrying about a spatial computer or whether even you have a computer. Onshape runs on any platform like Windows, Mac, Linux, Chromebook, iPhone, iPad, Android. Every user in the world is always on the same version of Onshape, the latest version. There is a zero work for customer if upgrade happens. Upgrade happens seamlessly every 3 weeks. Think about that. There are no files and no copies of files. Everything managed for you. Onshape is more than just a CAD. It's a parametric modeling, fundamentally better ways of modeling in many areas, such as multi-part design, configuration, managing context design, simultaneous sheet metal tools, and custom features. Data management tool to keep your data organized and manageable. Maintain a single source of truth for your data without the need for an external add-on PDM system or sending around files. Onshape built-in collaboration tool allow multiple people simultaneously work on the same part or assembly. When anyone or anywhere makes a design change, everyone else on the team instantly sees it. Analytics is to give you unprecedented insight of your data and your design team activities. Chart-based analytics by projects, students, assignment status, geography, time, period, etc. Complete design history and change log. Now let's Now let's hear from Harrison and Peter. It's our pleasure to have them here for this webinar. They are member of Aerospace and Rocket Engineering team at University of Melbourne. University of Melbourne is a partner with a LEAP to use Onshape for 3D CAD and ANSYS for multi-physics simulation. Hand it over to Peter now. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Akshay. So yeah, I'll just give you a brief overview of what we do, and then Harrison will get into the specifics of how we use Onshape. So yeah, like Akshay mentioned, we are the part of the Aerospace and Rocket Engineering Society, which is a University of Melbourne student-led club, which is basically focused around aerospace and space technology in general. So what we do is we allow students to participate in real hands-on kind of engineering projects, and we effectively bridge the gap between theory and practice by running these kind of workshops and competing in national competitions. And we also promote STEM through various outreach programs, such as school visits, lunch days, industry nights, and more of the sort. So we also partner with industry to validate a lot of our work or seek expert advice on the type of work that we are undertaking. And we also hold joint events with them, with a recent example being the seminar we had with the Australian Space Agency a few weeks back. So I personally lead the Project Aries team, which is a 40-odd member project in which the main goal is to build a big rocket with the aim of launching it to 10,000 feet, which is by all means kind of a precision engineering task, which calls for the use of highly sophisticated models and simulations, as well as a way to kind of validate those models and simulations. So leading such a big team, it is quite important to keep everything centralized and have a way to allow collaboration between our teams, whether that's a shared drive or a central hub for communications, but most importantly, a place where the work that we do as engineering students can be accessed by everyone, no matter where they are or no matter what kind of PC they use, which is kind of where Onshape comes into play, and it feels like a great gap that we had. And I think I'll pass it over to Harrison to speak about how Onshape is used by us and what the benefits have been so far.
Great, thanks, Peter. Yes, as he covered, our main project at the moment is the AURC entry, and it's quite a large team involved with that, to the tune of about 40 students. And the the biggest problem with a team that large is that it's very difficult to collaborate effectively and also to have a single centralized location that everybody can view the relevant files. So that's something that Onshape really has helped us with, in the sense that you can go to a single location, you can see all the files, you can see the branched versions. So if someone makes a mistake and you want to revert to a previous file, that's all done from the managerial side. The analytics side and accountability that it brings from the enterprise level, you can see who's been doing what work, which is absolutely essential in a team as large as ours. And also the general ease of access for the software itself, in the sense of that we don't have to worry about different versions. It's as simple as, for our own unique domain, we can just go into a regular search engine, log in with our own details, and instantly be a part of the system. And also the control that we can wield as the project managers means that we can set up the system in a way such that we're always going to have the relevant accesses for various teams. And so that way we don't lose files, we're always up to date. And as far as the collaboration goes between the team, it's a lot more smooth than having tons of individual files running around and wondering which one is the right version. So in essence, it's that Onshape lets us collaborate effectively and also drives accountability. And with that, I shall pass it back to Lee.
Thank you very much, Harrison and Peter. And now we'll talk about core element of Onshape education enterprise. First thing, we will work with you to set up a private domain. That's really a key. You will decide what you would like to call that domain. Your university name .onshape.com. That will become your private domain. Right hand side, bulk class management. If you have your private domain, you can then invite all of your students and group them into the teams at the same time. So before the semester begin, you can set up the teams and set up the class the way you want it to do. And you can also manage global permission. You can set up a school's multiple teacher teaching Onshape. You will be able to set up their permissions. Also, you will be able to set a permission for your teaching assistants. Product data management workflow are for the most advanced project. If you have capstone projects or other competition projects, that can be perfectly managed with the help of release management workflow. On the left hand side, once you have a private domain and once you set up your teams, classes, and your student, now you have access to data analytics to be able to actually look at how much time are students spending on each exercise and when are they spending that time. You can also assign action items. This is really nice thing with your TAs, and dealing with the questions on gradings and that sort of things. Then finally, it will allow you to set up a single sign-on integration with your school login. Now let's see a demonstration of Onshape Education Enterprise in action. Hand it over to Tajuna. Thank you.
Welcome all of you to Onshape demonstration. My name is Taju Joseph, working as an application engineer in Leap, Australia. In today's demonstration, I would like to show you how PTC's Onshape is the best CAD solution for academic settings, especially for the present remote learning times. How students can learn CAD interactively, similar to a Google Doc, and the tools available for educators to work effectively with the students. So let us start Onshape. Here I'm using Chrome browser. Obviously, we can use Mozilla or Safari or any other popular web browser. As soon as we log in, students and teachers are presented with a social media style page to show what's happening in their class. What every other students are working on, the chats between the students and the teachers, they can actually jump onto a conversation and be a part of a classroom sort of a feeling they will get while communicating and communicating in the chat system. Looks like somebody is saying like how this design looks like. I can say, yep, looks great. And everybody get that information and notification concurrently at the same time. Being an instructor, I am presented with all my students' assignments and works and activities here in different folders. I can easily organize my work. Here you can see all those, all the status of my students' work. You can see it's to be graded. Some of them are actually rework requested. Even I can see who all are actually pending for submission. I can actually plan my day here based on which are the works need to be graded today. Even before looking and opening to this part, I can actually go and look at the history of that part. What are the inputs for every students? All the micro stations, micro revisions that's been captured inside Onshape and who did what, that sort of a micro level information I can straight away capture from here. Here you can see there is some pending for submission. In the actual demonstration, I would like to actually help my students within Onshape I can easily help the students how to design. That's my part of the main demo today. But even before getting into that, I would like to show how I can share my assignments and documents inside Onshape with my students. I can individually share the assignments with the students here, or I can assign the task within the team, easily call a team, put all the students in a particular team, and then I can share the document. I can actually set different types of permission, like view only permission or an edit permission. I can, even if it's an edit permission, I can control whether they are allowed to export it or whether they are allowed to share the document, whether they are allowed to comment on the document or copy and things like that. Lots of control I got here in terms of sharing and the document control and things like that. Now, as you are familiar with, setting up a universities in a particular term, it's not like sending an email with the 12 GB of data, installation, the licensing, and you are very familiar with that sort of a headache all the time you will get when a semester starts. Even after 4th week and 5th week, students are still not ready with their computers because of some graphics card issues or license issue and so on. But setting up a students in Onshape here is just a minute job. You don't need to worry anything here. All we are doing here is a web browser. As soon as the name is being entered in the background by the teachers, students straight away get access to the system. That's so easy to set up that system for the students. And from the day one, students can actually access the system. Now, as I mentioned before, these students are still not completed the job here, what I've been assigned to. So what I actually assigned them is a coffee grinder design from the basic structure I have completed. They're supposed to complete this design. Okay. Now, I can start straight away, I can have a chat for the students. Maybe I would like to actually invite them for a quick meeting here. Okay, let me send a message here. Do you have a minute? I can call the student straight away here. I'm going to just say okay, student 1 and the student 2. And as soon as I do that, they will get an email notification under the mobile. If they are using an app, they're actually using notification straight away. For the purpose of demo, I have them already logged in. You can see as soon as, if they are online, they're actually straight away getting that message here. Do you have a minute? Okay, or if they're offline, they are not really using Onshape, they actually will get an email straight away saying, somebody actually shared a document, or maybe a chat message, or somebody assigned a task for you. That sort of a notification straight away. Here, I got 2 students here. The student is she is probably in a different country. She is in overseas working in a Chromebook. Maybe she is using a MacBook with a Safari. Doesn't matter, because we need here is a browser. This other student 2, he may be using I'm sorry, I need to just activate my phone here. So here we go. Okay, he's maybe using a phone. He may be sitting in Brisbane. He still can't come to Victoria. He may be just playing video games while he is getting notification like what you are seeing here. Somebody commented on this, and he can jump on inside the app because Onshape will work in a browser, and also it will work inside an app, and he can straight away come here and start talking to the teacher straight away. You can see that's sort of a really great collaboration inside Onshape. It is very unique, and it's very revolutionary, in an awesome way of collaboration between the participants. It is impossible in terms of other CADs because they are a file-based CAD system, but here we are actually using really modern sort of an approach. People, as soon as I do something, I'll show you in a minute. For example, I'm actually logging here in Chrome browser, and the students here logged in different browsers and different operating system. And I got somebody is actually logged in here using the phone. But for example, if I just start editing something, or maybe I just delete something, as soon as I change something here, you can see all the students whom I am actually talking, they're actually concurrently getting that update straight away. As I said, it's very revolutionary. It's a very awesome way of collaborating, and it's impossible in traditional CAD. If I'm just doing a design review or something like that, the student can straight away follow me. So you can see all the mouse movements I do straight away. They can actually see what I'm actually working on and what are the points or the geometries I'm highlighting on. Okay, so now before I continue, what also I would like to show you here is I would like to show an assignment that is being completed by a previous student. Okay, just to have a little bit more overview of Onshape here. Here you can see the name. The name is not important. The files we are not really talking about C:// thing here with a particular file name. It doesn't matter. You can actually rename your file anytime. You can actually create different versions at any time. Here you can see there is a version is being created by the user or the student before submitting me the work. Okay, I can literally see the time and effort that student is being spent, including the time stamp for every student and every users in that team. Again, being an instructor, I can guide him with modeling skill. You can actually go and get a feel and feedback and see how the students take your instructions so that you can learn how to improve in future. Now, designing is not about creating CAD files, assembly files and drawing files. Obviously, they all are important for a design, but along with those design, there are other things like PDF. Students will be Googling a lot of information, and they will be checking a lot of spec. They want to actually add all those spec inside their design data. It's not only just the design. Maybe they are actually referencing to a DXF file. Maybe they get some design concept from another CAD system. They can actually incorporate all these things, and actually while they're evolving that design, they can actually become part of that design, and they can control the revision of each individual items inside Onshape. So it is not just a file. We are not really talking about a file. We call this as a document. It's actually a container including a lot of information for that particular design. So it is not just a CAD file, as Akshay mentioned before. It is a design system. It is being designed by, Onshape is being built by experienced industry people who know exactly how things work in the industry. So before I go back to that assignment for the students, I would like to give you a quick introduction to some of the basic features in Onshape. This is exactly a CAD system in another way. If you like to, you can actually see here. Let me go back to the main and go back to that part. Here, you can see the design intent is captured exactly same like the other CAD system. I can go and modify this dimension as I like. Change this dimension to a different value. It's parametric, so as soon as I update the value, it update the geometry. Okay, here we go. And you can see a lot of other features have been based on that parametric sketches, like features and loft features and revolve and things like that. So you're basically literally looking at very familiar CAD features like revolve and extrude and things like that. A lot of different tools are there. Like creating surface modeling, assembly model, drawing, sheet metal, everything is there. But I will say the tools are very deep. What that means here is lots of tools like solids and surfaces, adding material and removing material, and Boolean operation like intersect. Everything is being merged into one single feature. That makes it very powerful. At the same time, the learning curve is very smooth. There are lots of resources available for students and educators to kickstart Onshape with. For example, we got a website called learn.onshape. Tons of training materials are available. Students can actually jump on, and there are different aspects of Onshape like surface modeling and assemblies and in-context design, and they can get tons of training material here for them to start learning Onshape. Help tutorial, I would like to just mention that as well. Unlike other CAD system, help itself is a training material. You can see this is just the Onshape help. Every individual topics here got a video files. Students can actually go and listen and watch and do a training sort of a thing for every topics, every commands inside Onshape. So it's very modern so system. It is being built in for, it's the learning curve is really smooth, if you like. Now, we were talking about unparalleled collaboration functionalities and features with the communication system and updating models instantly in real time and that sort of a thing. Okay. Another brilliant thing inside Onshape I would like to mention is its unique concurrent feature. Okay. So let me go back to that models we were discussing before. So just a recap, I got two students working here, student 1 and student 2. Okay, student 1 is using, she may be in overseas, she is using a different browsers, okay, as we can see here. And the student 2, he's in a different state. He's actually using the mobile app. He's using the mobile, if you like. Okay, and mobile app, again, I forgot to show you more details to the mobile. It is just not a viewer. It is actually a feature by itself. Sorry, I forgot to show that before. But all those features, what you see here, is available inside the mobile app. Okay. Now, what I would like to show you here is we were talking about concurrent design. Inside Onshape, it is a brilliant idea of concurrent design. When you are talking about concurrent design in other PLM system, what it is creating different workspaces by different users, adding a copy of the file, because the file-based architecture practically no more than one person can modify it. But the approach in Onshape is different. What I got is two workspaces, one created for you, student 1, another one for student 2. Okay, but what you need to understand here is those workspaces are created inside the document. It is not an external workspace I created. I can create the workspace inside a document. So what that means is two users or more users can go ahead and parallelly work, and then you can actually bring back the design, and then we can actually merge without collapsing that features. It won't really fall over. There's lots of smart is being built in the system. It is to enable multiple users to work concurrently. Okay, so there are lots of use cases we can talk about. For example, here user 1 is working, and before I continue, let me actually activate user student 1 workspace here. And what she was trying to do is she wanted to have a try a different design idea. She wanted to work independently on the same model without affecting other people's. Okay, maybe she would like to add some sort of organic shape to this geometry. Okay, sometimes making organic shape can take a long time. Okay, because to create some surfaces and curvature, and she don't want to hold the model, because otherwise lots of other peoples need to wait until she actually finish her work. She don't want that happens at all. But in this case, you can see while she is creating that sort of a nice curvature surface here, and another user can actually parallelly work in a different design and concept. Another use case here, maybe let me go back to the different browser here. I'm going to log in as I'm going to activate student 2, and student 2, he got a different workspace here. What he may be interested here is he may be actually working maybe another use case is maybe the time, they are worried about the timeline. The deadline is fast approaching, so they want to actually work in a different part of an assembly and finish it off this model. Now at the moment is we only got the base of the model. Maybe he is more interested of creating a geometry for the for the lid on the top. Okay, so that's probably that we can actually save a lot of time doing that sort of a parallel design. As I said, in a traditional CAD approach, it is not possible because we are actually which will only will replace the file if we actually work simultaneously on the same file. Okay, so here what I got here is at the moment where I'm up to for the student 2, and now he quickly completed that model for the top area of the lid. Now, one thing I want to stress here is at this stage, obviously what I really in a proper design environment, we need to split this design into two. Okay, one for the design top lid, another one for the body. And when we are talking about teaching CAD to a student, we actually need to start, teaching top-down design approaches, or multi-body parts, master model techniques, and that sort of a things. From my experience being a CAD instructor, it is a lot of things for the students to digest in terms of top-down design and things like that. For a lot of students, it's a hard thing to understand. End of the day, all they need here is one part for the top, another part for the body. That's all they need. But Onshape has been, as I said, is very smart and it's been built in for not multi body parts. It's actually a multi-part design. As soon as I actually split this design, you can see I got two parts here. One for the base. I can easily go and rename that as a different name called base. And they actually got independent parts now with its own unique features and characteristics. Like for example, I can assign a material or a color or whatever I would like to. Let me change this name to a lid. Okay, so now I got two parts, one for base, another one for lid. If you are after changing a material or assigning a material or a color, I can easily go and apply a color here, and that is because they both are separate models, if you like. Again, all the basic design intent features which I primarily worked before, they all are become the basis of my design. For example, I can actually come back and change this geometry, and you can see the dimensions for part 1 and the base and the lid all get updated at the same time, because it still holds that parametric intelligence, but the system is very smartly built so that we can easily create multi-body parts. Again, a recap of what we are doing here. We got student 2 working parallelly with student 1, and student 1 is working in a different sort of area. She's after the organic styling of this part, and student 2 is actually working on a different area. Now, what I can do here is I can actually bring that changes from student 1 to student 2 and merge together with my main assembly here. One other thing also I would like to mention, so far I was not really saving any of my work at all. There is no save functions inside Onshape, but every micro steps I have been doing here is being captured as a step, as a micro version, and anytime you can actually go back and revert that, you can restore that into the new step. Okay, so that is really another advantage. Okay, let me reactivate the main design here. So even before that, maybe you want to actually compare what is the works between student 1 and student 2. We can do that easily by selecting those two works between student 1 and student 2, and system will automatically compare the works graphically between student 1 and student 2 works. So we can see here the student 1 work, and then if I just drag it and then I can compare. Okay, that's also a really good way of lots of comparison. This comparison tool can be even used for comparing between features and between different features, different versions inside Onshape. Okay, now let me go back. Let me reactivate my main design here. That's where I start, but I actually had two students was working parallelly, because Onshape is really built in for teamwork. Okay, it's for collaboration, it's for concurrent design. There are lots of revolutionary, unique features have been created inside Onshape to get that sort of a design. This is like a new culture of designing, if you like. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the work between student 1 and student 2 to the main branch. Again, lots of smart things have been designed inside Onshape so that design won't get fall over. Okay, in a traditional CAD approach, it's very hard. You can't even imagine this kind of merging these functionalities, merging these two concurrent parallel work into a main sort of a, back to a different versions. It's impossible, as I said a couple of times before. Now they're happy with this design, but what I can do is I can actually now go and create a version. Let me quickly go back and create a new version. Maybe I'll just change to be graded, ready for grading or something like that. Okay, I created that version so that teacher can actually see a new version is being created and it's now ready for grading. Now, there are lots of other things. Being an instructor in a university is lots of other things I can do. For example, there are deadlines for the assignments, and after the deadlines, what we want to make sure students is not really going to touch that part, that assignment. So I can easily come back. For example, I can change the permission of the student here from edit to a view only permission. Okay, update that. And if I now come back to student 1, as soon as I update is from edit mode, that will get updated to a view only mode. She can only do markups, or she can only do a cross sections view. She can only do simple dimension checks and things like that. She can always go back to the main body here, or to be graded version in it. So that's all transparent because they all are part of the system. Okay. Now, the last but one thing I want to show you is all about analytics. Okay, real-time analytics is an important thing inside Onshape. Okay, you may be a lecturer for your students or a CEO of your company. You would like to see exactly what team is doing real-time, what at any time of the moment, what everybody is working in your company. This is not a report, it's a real-time analytics. What exactly a user is working on Onshape. This will allow you to estimate and plan your assignment to the student. The activity overview is another next level of information. Every design activities, what's going on in your universities is being captured. See the total number of hours spent on each project per day per student. Which student is working more time, which student is working less hours, including the geographic location. If somebody subcontracted that work to another part of the world, we can straight away hear the login is being used somebody else in another part of the world. It's a great tool for teachers and administrators. Now, let me summarize. PTC, of course, they are pioneers in the CAD. They invented parametric CAD way back in 1985. They know exactly how the next generation CAD should look like. PTC's Onshape is the only powerful product development platform out there that unites CAD, data management, collaboration tools in real-time analytics. Okay, Onshape's accessibility on every devices and real-time collaboration tools. They have invaluable benefits for the classroom, regardless of whether lessons are being taught online or face-to-face. So I think that's all from me today. So if you got any questions, put in the chat. We'll be able to answer that straight away. So I'll hand over to Akshay. Back to you, Akshay.
Thank you, Daju. I'm just sharing my screen now. Okay. Yeah, I'm just okay. Let me flip the screen. Okay, that's great. Okay, so let's summarize the information we have shared today. Onshape is the only cloud-based product development platform that brings together a CAD, a data management solution, collaboration tools, real-time analytics, and security in a one SaaS solution. Data and tools in a one place in the cloud. No installation, no copies, global real-time single source of truth. Parallel collaboration inside and outside of your educational organization. So Onshape is a next generation cloud design platform that speeds up product development, and the Onshape education enterprise plan gives educator and faculty the tools they need to support and manage any size of CAD program. Advanced feature provide unparalleled functionality compared to other education plans on the market. Any questions before you go on? Okay. Okay, I will go through the questions you have asked so far. Let me check. Okay, there are a few questions. Okay. The first question is, do I need any special hardware? No, I mean Onshape runs on Macs, PCs, Linux, and Chromebooks, as well as iOS and Android and mobile devices. So no special hardware required. So as long as you have a browser, you just need to type in cat.onshape.com and you need to put a password and log in, and you're good to go. Okay, so there is another question. What training material Onshape provide? Taju, would you like to answer this one?
Yeah, surely. Akshay, the reality is the learning curve is very smooth because it's a very easy to use system. If you're already familiar with some other CAD system, you can pick it by yourself. Having said that, and as I think I showed you before, the learn.onshape.com, where heaps and heaps of training materials in different areas of Onshape, like a surfacing, sheet metal assembly, context design, on context design, everything is available. Just another thing I want to point out again here is Onshape help is actually a training material. All the help to topic actually include a video files and the training material. So that itself is really a vast amount of training material has been embedded even in the help tutorial, so that students and teachers can make use of that, Akshay.
Okay, thank you, Taju. I hope that the question, that answer will suffice your requirement. Okay, so there is another one. Do I need to involve my school IT department? In most cases, no, because Onshape require no downloads or installation. You should not need to involve your IT. Everyone in your in a class can simply sign up for his or her own account. One of the professor or lecturer can be admin, who can create teams and add students as per your organization structure. Okay, I can see that there are other questions as well. We will answer those questions offline, as we need to be mindful of time. So let me go to the next slide. Okay. So if you would like to have more information, please do not hesitate to contact me. My details are in front of your screen. We will notify upcoming advanced Onshape webinar soon. Thank you very much for listening us very patiently. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.